Welcome back. This is our long-awaited Q&A episode. I know we first talked about it when we first hit 1,000 subscribers, and thank you everybody for writing in your questions. We read them all. So today, to accompany the Q&A, we have our favorite beef noodle soup.
I didn't know we're gonna go straight into it.
Yeah, go straight into it.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that's the whole thing. If you live in Los Angeles area and you've been to SGV, you probably know about Dai Ho. Whether you've been here before or not, this is our favorite beef noodle soup in all of LA. And there are many options. And I have a top 10 list, but this is number one. All right, let's take a sip.
I guess it's a mukbang and not a Q&A. I thought we were gonna start with the questions.
How's it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so, oh yeah, the broth is superb. I will show you the broth, but it's gonna spill. Okay, so how are we gonna do this? We're just gonna read the questions out? Okay. Okay, first question. What do you two do for work besides YouTube?
We started this YouTube journey as a 1-year commitment because we realized that we live in an amazing city that offers a lot of really good food, and every week we're out there exploring and discovering new dishes, and we're like, it'd be amazing if we could just capture this all as a memory for ourselves, but also to share out with the general public. Yeah, so we started this as a 1-year journey. So we're really appreciative of everyone that's come along the way. We had no idea that people will actually start watching us, honestly. So thank you for watching. Yeah, I work full-time in marketing, and Jeff, you are a full-time content creator.
Up until last year, I was in marketing technology, so I had a full-time job as well. Now I am working with restaurants and brands on Instagram and, spending some time to, get this YouTube channel off the ground. As you guys know, those of you that are creating content on YouTube, it does take a lot of time to edit and put together a video, especially on a weekly basis. And we're, very fortunate that capturing the content is relatively easy because we're already going to these places. And so it's just about like getting our cameras out and recording horizontal now versus just vertical. So yeah, great question.
Good job for pushing out 1 video per week ever since January.
Let's go. So here's our first tennis question. All right, do a tennis pickleball what's in your bag video for both Vic and Jeff. Our bags are pretty simple. We have 3 rackets and some balls.
Hey.
Another tennis question. What rackets do you guys use? What strings, tensions, shoes, the entire setup? And we'll go into more details here, but both of us have Wilson rackets.
Stay tuned for our What's in Your Bag video. We'll just do a whole roundup there of all the tennis details. It'll be a fun one, so that was a really great question.
Next question. What level of sweetness do you get in your drinks? Over to you.
Well, it ain't a fun drink without some sweetness. When we first started, we started off with 100%, and it really depends on where you go. We try to avoid a lot of the places that use syrups. So right now we're at 75%, less sweet typically.
Less sweet.
So now we're trying to make our way down to 50% because we realize that the drinks are getting sweeter and sweeter, and not because of the places we're choosing, but because the fruits that are being used are super ripe. So I think 50% is good enough for us.
Yeah. Great question. Comment below if you want to share how sweet you get your drinks. All right, next question. How did you learn to edit videos? So both of us are new to the long format. We just kind of threw ourselves into it. I had some experience editing with CapCut, which is a ByteDance product for Instagram. So when I heard that CapCut had a free long form editor, I sort of played around with that and compared it with, Apple's product. And I really liked, the flexibility that CapCut gave me. We just ran with that. And it's a free product. Even though we've upgraded to Pro, it's been solid. It hasn't really crashed. It does memory really well, which was a struggle for us in the beginning. Highly recommend CapCut.
Break time.
Okay.
Time for another bite.
All right.
Okay, as you take your bite, I will move on to the next question. Do you have dogs or pets? Well, while we love dogs and cats and birds and fish. We made a commitment and we said that if we can keep our plants alive, then we'll get a pet, but we are not plant parents, so no pet yet, although we love them.
Can I share the reason that I don't want to have a dog?
No.
Or if you want to know, comment below and then I'll share it.
Next question. What is your ethnicity? This is a common question that we get a lot, not just on YouTube, but just in general.
We do confuse a lot of people.
Jeff.
Okay, so because my last name is Woo, I get this question a lot from Koreans because Woo is a common Korean last name, but it's also a common Chinese last name. And I'm from Shanghai and, I'm Chinese.
In my family, believe it or not, I'm 100% Chinese. My family is from Guangzhou. But over the years, I have gotten Filipino, Vietnamese, Thai, Spanish. I mean, I love it. I would love to say that I am from those different countries because unfortunately I can't speak any of them, so I couldn't even hide the fact that no, I'm not. You want to take the next few?
Okay, where do your love for food come from? We'll start with you and then I'll add to it.
Well, being Asian, of course, my mom showed her love through food, and whenever she wanted to say I love you, it was always, are you hungry? So that's where that came from.
And when I first met you, I was not so much into food. And then having moved to New York, started a relationship with you in New York, immediately I felt your passion for exploring the cuisine of New York. And I quickly became a, food fanatic as well. And then when we moved to Singapore and lived there for 3 years, I mean, try living in Singapore for 3 years and not be a foodie or interested in food. That's when I decided to quit my job there and start a food app because I wanted to organize food by dish. That food app, you know the name? It's Foodmento. Okay, next question. Okay, why did you move from Boston to LA? I think the question is, why did we move to LA, right? Mm-hmm. And it's because for two reasons. One, the weather's amazing, which allows us to play tennis year round. And two is the reason why we're here, the food. We loved eating the food out here when we visited. LA County is 88 cities and each city has its own ecosystem of good food. So we're blessed. If you are willing to drive, and this is, the thesis of our content is we're showing you the breadth of, good food here in LA. And 5 years into our journey here, we're still discovering new places. That's how much we love the food here and why we moved to LA. Okay, next question is for you. Vic, have you always been a fun drink seeker?
I have always been a fun drink seeker, but I've never been able to find a city that was able to live up to my expectations and desires until I moved here to LA. The coffee culture and tea culture and boba culture here is just so strong. We're so blessed. So good.
We both share a passion for tea-based drinks. As well as coffee-based drinks. I drink a lot of coffee. The coffee game in LA is incredible. And while we were in New York, I worked from coffee shops pretty much every day. And, the coffee there is amazing. But I just think LA's coffee is, a level above. And the tea-based drinks, 3 levels above, which makes us very happy. Next question. How do you afford all of those dishes all the time?
We can't. We can't. We spend all of our disposable income on food and drinks. You can tell, we're not the most fashionable, although we try to be. While others spend their money on other priorities, we prioritize spending on food and drinks because that's what we enjoy. But we're also blessed because, Jeff has spent the last 10 years building up his following on Instagram. So if you haven't followed him yet, follow him. Because you've been on IG for so long, you've been able to build relationships, and now through brand deals and restaurant invites.
Yeah, I think, being selective about the invites is very important. It has to be something that we enjoy eating and something that we want to learn more about. I would say that access gives us the ability to eat more. But a lot of times when we spend our own money, it's on, relatively affordable items like this beef noodle soup, right? Great question.
We feel very privileged to be able to live this type of lifestyle that we can craft for ourselves.
All right, next question. Can you guys adopt me?
Okay, on to questions that need no answer. Number 1, can you adopt me? 3 people like this question, so I'm assuming 4 people want to be adopted. Here's the response from Jesse. He gets first pick.
Point is, we have a queue. All right. When you guys are not filming, what do you usually eat? Do you guys cook? This is a great question. We don't eat out all the time, but we do eat out 90% of the time. And during the week, we like to make vegetables, and that's why we go to H Mart. You've seen some of the supermarket videos. She loves watercress. I love other vegetables. We do cook vegetables, mainly her. She makes really good food.
Mainly?
Did you guys know that Vic is a chef, a trained chef? Yes. Okay, next question. Any favorite dessert spots in the OC in LA? So immediately, Bake and Che comes to mind. They're in Westminster. They're Vietnamese dessert shop, and their signature is the Che Tắc Bia. You've seen it on the videos. We love it. So that's one option. But comment below if you want us to do a dessert roundup, because I do have a list of my favorite desserts in LA. We would love to share that, through a video. So comment below. All right, next question. How much do you spend on food in a month? It would be cool to access a list of your favorite spots. We do spend a lot. Like Vic said, probably 90% of our disposable income every month goes to food. So it is our number 1 hobby. It's an expensive hobby. In terms of accessing all my favorites, just let me know. DM me on Fumento. I have plenty of lists. So I have a burger list, I have a taco list, I have a beef noodle soup list, I have, a list for pretty much everything that we love to eat. Just DM me. I got you.
Another fun question that needs no answer. Are you guys retired? We wish.
When I play pickleball with 60-year-olds, they ask me this question as well, because I'm playing with them at 10 a.m. Do all my editing at night.
You do.
Okay, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? That's the hardest question to ask anybody that loves eating all sorts of food. I think I can answer for you. I think you would be really happy if you ate chicken rice every day. And I think I would join you in that. Share this with me.
For you, it'd probably be an acai bowl.
I could eat an acai bowl every day.
Yeah.
It's healthy, it's delicious.
But probably if I had to say one dish for the rest of your life, these days you're into health, so I would probably say some sort of vegetable soup, like a yang tofu if you're Singapore style, like a seaweed soup with okra if it's Japanese style.
Yang tofu is a really good example, and that's why we love Singapore so much. So many great, healthy, delicious options.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Okay, another question. Guilty pleasure food. I'm trying not to eat too much meat these days.
Says the man that just asked if we can have a burger later.
Yeah, so whenever we have a really juicy burger or Korean barbecue, for example, that's kind of like a guilty pleasure.
Here's a fun question. If you can describe each other with a restaurant or meal, what would that be?
What would I be? And don't say stinky tofu.
You would be like a chengdu hot pot.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because you'd be very savory, appetizing, just really delicious as you're eating it. But you will sweat. You will sweat, but you will enjoy it. Okay, that's a first. Okay, I would describe you as one of my favorite restaurants. My favorite restaurants are ones where I go back to again and again. I try a new dish, and my experience gets better and better because the more I try, the better that whole restaurant is. So I feel like you are that restaurant, right? Which is
the
very
more
shocking.
I try, the better it gets.
Which is shocking because
And that is life.
It's shocking because if you ask Jeff, what's your favorite dish? You're like, one that I have not tried yet.
That is my motto for keep trying new things. Another question?
How do you find places to eat? Is it social media, word of mouth? How do you do it?
When we first moved here, we relied on Eater, all the publications, you know, the people that we follow, writers like Bill Addison, Jen Harris, who is here, following people that eat a lot in LA.
That you can resonate with.
And then over time, you know, as I post things on Instagram, I listen to you guys. You guys are all eaters in LA and you give me so many recommendations. I would say like 50% of the places that we go to are recommendations from you guys.
And that's
So,
amazing because
yeah.
we end up going to like spots that only locals will know. Because we moved here 5 years ago and we didn't grow up here, we want to know where all the locals eat.
So now I would say 80% of where we go of new places are because of you guys. We want to go to places that nobody talks about. We want to go to places that only you know. So
Yeah.
keep the recs coming. We'll keep writing them down. You should see our Google Maps. It's full of recs from you guys.
But just be warned, we always put a name next to the pin on the map.
Yeah.
And we give everyone 3 chances.
Mentally, we
strikes.
give you 3 chances.
3 strikes and then you're off the list.
Okay.
Okay, that's it for today's Q&A. It's been long awaited and much delayed because we just came back from a very exciting trip in Asia. We hope you enjoyed all of those vlogs, but if you haven't seen it yet, here's Shanghai, here's Guangzhou, here's Shenzhen, here's Hong Kong. And then we will be going to another exciting trip coming up very soon. Until then, keep leaving the comments. We love reading all of your comments.
Yeah.
We are thinking about introducing a new segment into the weekly vlogs where Jeff reads out all the comments. And they're pretty funny.
We did a preview of it. We did a preview in the last video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both the comments and your responses to the comments.
Right.
They're pretty funny. So, thanks for watching as usual. We appreciate everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's continue this journey together. Let's see if we can make it till December. So you requested it and we're here to deliver. We're gonna do a what's in your bag today, and unlike other people who live with one bag, our what's in your bag is actually
3 bags.
3 bags. This is 1
2.
and 3. So this one first is where our sneakers are. Because any athlete will know that your shoes stink up after 3 hours of tennis.
Bag number 2. This is my Fruit Loops bag that I'm using for a tennis bag. First, we got 3 rackets. I have my elastic band for the one-handed backhand. And of course, you have to have some pickleball paddles. Pickleball. We got our
These are our grips. They're much more durable.
and I have some miscellaneous stuff like this wristband. Okay.
Hey, you have more grips in here. Dude. Okay, what's in this bag? Let's see. All the fun beverages. Water. Balls.
You balls.
Sunblock. 2 picnic blankets in case we want to chill and wait for a court. Socks. Some more socks. And our mics. My visor.
Here are my 2 Pro Staff V13. These are a version of Roger Federer's rackets. I have one strung at 51 tension, the other one strung at 53. Higher tension for more control, lower tension for power. So depending on how I feel, I will switch from one racket to the other. I've had this for some time now, and not gonna switch anytime soon, so I like it a lot. So this is Vic's Wilson Clash, and it's strung at 53 tension for more control.
I went to the racket doctor and tested 10 different rackets. Shout out to Racket Doctor because I think it's, what is it, $10 to rent a racket and you could test it for a week,
Yeah.
and you could interchange any racket during that whole week. So then I finally, after all 10 of them, I settled on this one.
And the strings that we all use Cyclone 15. Taking the time to ask the questions.
Wait, pause for 1 second.
Yeah. I know we started. This is our favorite.
On food and drinks.
Hold on. Hold on.